Hello everyone, this is Michael from KendoWorld and welcome to our latest KED Talk. We're here today with Christian Filippi from Italy. Christian has been training in Kendo for 28 years and he holds the grade of Renshi Rokudan. He's had a great competition career during his time. He's competed in 9 European Kendo Championships, winning the team event once, 5 World Kendo Championships, and finished in 3rd place. Has been Italian champion 4 times. He also holds first dan in Aikido as a trainer for the Italian Tennis Federation. And since retiring from the Italian National Team, he's been the Croatian coach since 2015. So, Christian, please welcome to KED Talk.
Thank you very much. I say hello to everybody who are here now, and thank you for this chance.
We're very pleased to have you here. How was the situation with Corona been in Italy regarding Kendo? I know back in the UK, practice has just started a couple of weeks ago. How are things in Italy? And we're recording this on May 23rd in 2021. So, how have things been there?
Yeah, here in Italy, we are playing only agonistic pairs. So from the end of February, the last February, we started again. Of course, was a sad period. I mean, of course, it's sad because of pandemic, but talking about Kendo, many people lost 1 year or over than 1 year. Actually, as I told, we started again, but many people are still scared. So it's not easy to find out people who feel safety in Keiko. We actually are using the plastic mask on Mengane during regular Keiko when we have full bogu, and during the suburi or without men, we are using the mask because indoor is obligatory the mask. Even you are making sport, you are doing sport. Outdoor, you can be free to move without the mask. But so there are groups who are having meeting in the public gardens, doing suburi all together, and is also a good promotion for the club in somehow, because the people around are looking at those strange people who are doing strange things. So yes, it is funny, and also is a good way to rebuild a kind of a good feeling coming back to play together. So it will be not fast, in my opinion, to come back at usual normality. We will need, I think, few months before to feel again like in the past before coronavirus period.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's good that I think you're at least being able to practice outside. And as you said, that it's probably been a great advertisement for your Kendo club. So hopefully when things go back to normal, you're going to get not only the people that have been regularly practicing, but maybe a few new ones that have seen you screaming and shouting in the park. And
exactly, especially the kids. Because them always you say shut up, and here finally them can use big voice. So maybe
I've seen some pictures on Facebook of people out in I think it was in Rotterdam in Holland, people training outside in the park as well with full bogu on, and so
all around Europe I think there are some clubs. Rijeka, for example, staying in Croatia, are having full Keiko with bogu also outside in public spaces, for example. So there are some realities that are using that system.
So I think in Japan at the moment we have to wear the kind of cloth mask that goes over our nose and our mouth, and then most people. I think we also have to wear a plastic guard that goes inside the men as well. and I did have one that goes over the eyes as well with a small gap between. But hardly anybody wears this eye one now. It just steams up really quickly, and it's hard enough with a mask. But at least we're still able to do it. So I think that's kind of good.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully before not too long, things will get back to normal and competitions will resume and things like that.
Crossing fingers, yes.
Yeah. So, as I mentioned in your introduction before, you've been training in Kendo since for 28 years. So since you were 13, is that right? 13?
13 years, about around 13 years old.
So what led you to walk into a dojo and start practicing Kendo?
Yeah, I started with Aikido because I was a difficult kid. So my parents were searching for something helpful to give me right education and to manage my energies. So when I was around 6 years old, I started with Aikido. I enjoyed a lot. I learned how to move my body, how to the basement of my coordination and everything. And then in same time I was playing almost everything because I always loved the sport. So of course with my friends, skiing, soccer and everything. But in Kodokan, because I was born in Alessandria, so I started with Aikido with Nando Magarotto sensei in Kodokan, Alessandria. And after I saw Kendo because Nando Magarotto was also Kendo sensei, Kendo teacher. And immediately after Aikido lesson, started Kendo lesson. And when I was waiting for my parents to pick me up, of course I was giving a look around. I was really attracted by Bogu, this fashion mask. I love the atmosphere, the big kiai and everything, and I was really fascinated from that. So, but I was too young at that age. Was really uncommon to find out kids courses. I think wasn't in all the Italy territory, maybe in Sicily something, but really kids courses wasn't. So I had to wait for, and finally, I'm sorry, there is a truck. he's driving. Yeah. Finally, around second year of my medium school, so around 13 years old. Okay, I had chance to try that, and from that moment I never leave it. So I went on with Aikido and Kendo till 19 years old, and then I moved in Verona for sport university. In that year, I decided to be focused only on Kendo because it was difficult for me to manage my life with Aikido, Kendo, and all the other activities, and was the first experience outside of my parents' house and everything. So, I decided Kendo was really for me right choice, and so I'm still here today. Yeah, the most difficult year was exactly the first year of university. So around between 19 and 20, I was there alone. The first experience outside of my parents' house, and Kendo club changed also because, of course, I moved in another town, and I was really, really close to stop my Kendo way. I need to make bit order in my mind to find out a new personal balance. And fortunately, I met people, very positive people, who convinced me to stay in Kendo, and I started to play in some seminars that usually I never been before. So I'm meeting new people again, and the fire was born again. And really, I'm very thankful to that period, because I was so close to give up. But in the same time, really, I changed in a new way how I live Kendo from that moment. So it was very important that year for me.
So that was in your first year of university, around that time, when Kendo became your definite
exactly
full-on focus. So roughly around that time, how many times a week were you training at that age?
In that age, in that year, my first year of university, only twice a week, and not always. That was one of the worst points, because the new club wasn't structured like Kodokan was, and there were a teacher, but was a kind of group of friends, and people maybe didn't come without any message or something. So maybe I was always there, and often I was alone, and the teacher wasn't able maybe to teach one-to-one, to have a good lesson one-to-one like that. So sometimes, okay, we are only me and you, and so okay, you are free today, there isn't Keiko. And of course was for motivation was really negative at that point. But then I started to move in cities around Verona, like Brescia, especially the first period, and in Livio Lancini Sensei Club or Zago Sensei Club also. Both of them are in Brescia area, and from Verona I was able to move by train. I was poor in that age, so I didn't move by car. I hadn't car in that age, only public services. And so I invested my few monies only following seminars and lessons outside of Verona. I tried to do my best sacrifice to follow. And when I started to move around, I really discovered something new people, new methods. And okay, I fell down in love again for a second time with a totally new vision. That was the point.
That's a really important part about Daigeko as well, going to different places outside of your own club. I mean, I suppose it's a bit different for you in that situation, that you only had maybe 2 practices a week and not all of them happened. So you felt like you had to go and find other places. But particularly where I live here in Japan, there's definite practices every week, but still you go to different places and try and fight new people. So I think that's obviously a very important thing for you. I think that story shows the importance of getting out of your immediate area and
in fact, yes. In fact, after that experience, and later when I started to teach, the first lesson I passed to my students is to have as much experience abroad as possible, because the club, especially in the first period of your way, is very important to fix the basis and to show you the main way. But then you have to share your experience with other players and check at other methods. Sometimes you try to teach something, but if someone else says in different way, the students keep the message better. It's like parents. Always them says the same thing, but if you listen the same thing from another people, yes, you are open to receive the lesson. So sometimes it's really useful. The point is to have a teacher with who you can talk and you can share the experience. When I was 19, I hadn't. That was the point. That's why I was close to stop, because every experience were to me, and I tried to talk with my parents, but no one of them is Kendo players. So a guide is really important in life, as everything, of course, not only in Kendo.
Oh, so that's really good thing then that happens, that you've started to able to go around and find other places. So roughly, at what age did you enter your first Italian championships then?
I won, you mean, or I played?
The first time you entered, the first time you took part, the first time you played.
Took part. So I have to open a little chapter, because in Italy when I started, there being 3 different federations, and I started kendo in FIK, was Italian Kendo Federation. Okay, and that federation wasn't in AJKF. So I started with an official Italian championships, but for me in that age was my Italian championship. And then later I discovered the politics behind the practice. And around 18s, I moved in Italian Confederation Kendo. So actually CIK. So the same actually recognized from EKF and World Kendo Federation too. So yes, I be part of Italian Championship. First time I was 14 in juniors category with ex federation, not official federation, we can say. And in the official federation, I was 18. I was lucky because in that age weren't so many young players in Italy. So in combination with my age and the number of other same age players, I was talented. So I had chance to fight immediately as soon as I was 18 in Udansha competition. And from that moment, 1 year later, so around 19, in the same age of my first university year, I had chance to see Italian team training and to have the first touch from outside, but the first meeting with that age national team. And after 19 years old, I was being in the national team, Italian team training, and then I always been inside. So yeah, I started soon for something maybe too soon in a top division, in my opinion. As well, I started too soon as teacher in somehow, because I was 23 when I started to teach. So everything happened very early in my age. But at the other sides, give me other points, good points, and some other points missed. When you started too soon, something, maybe you take responsibility somehow, but at the same time you lose a chance to live your age, to be egoist enough to think only to yourself. That is the point. So you have to be focused around you, not only on yourself, and things like that.
Okay, so that was 1998 was your first Italian champion?
Yeah.
1998.
Yeah.
And you joined into the national team at that same time? Or you became...
1999.
So
1999.
So you became part of like the training squad, I guess?
Part of the training, yes. Part of the team was 2001. My first European Championship in Bologna.
So how were those first 2 years then, from becoming like a squad member until your debut in the European Champs? What did you learn in those 2 years, or what was the biggest challenge you had to overcome in those 2 years?
Yeah, mainly at the beginning, the rhythm of my kendo changed. I mean, my approach is too much offensive, and of course if you attack too much always is strategically I was zero. I wasn't able to think about a strategy, to think about how to beat your opponent differently from only attacking. So I was using only my speed before and stamina somehow if you don't win immediately, of course, but wasn't enough. Then my also technical level changed a lot because I was efficacious, talentuous, but very rude, technically talking. Coming from Aikido, I was using a lot of my right arm because, the kamae in Aikido is a bit twisted on, is not like in Kendo. And also my left foot was being, and also now sometimes happen, I'm still a bit too much inside, no? Twisted on inside. So I rebuild my Kendo from the basis. How to train Suburi. Before was just an habit. I'm warming up. But Suburi is not warming, is already technique. So I have to put inside right breathing, right control, right direction of the blade. And I really rebuild from zero my Kendo. That was somehow frustrating because was like discover, okay, I start from Kendo for the first time. Was the same. So everything was in discussion from that moment. And of course, also my confidence with my skills, I lost it because I wasn't in good confidence with anything of myself because everything was rebuilt in process. And 1 year I spent to rebuild my Kendo, and then really I switched in another level. I was strong enough to stay, to be patient, and to fight for 1 year with this uncomfortable feeling. But then really the payback was being great. I changed totally the level of my Kendo, and so also the Shiai performance was really different. So that 2 years was to like learn kind of another type of Kendo, everything new.
So those 2 years gave you then a good new base from which to work from, and then you took part as your first EKC was in 2001, the first time you were a member of the team. What championships was that in 2001?
Bologna. Bologna. Yeah, was in Italy. I honestly, in that year, I would prefer abroad because I was happy. I'm in the national team. Finally, I want to travel around the world. And this year, the European is in Bologna. Okay, thank you. But I was young. I want to have a trip around, no? So, but of course, I was really proud to be there. We were being 7. I was the 7th of the team, but the destiny wanted I play in team. Even the top 5 were more expert than me, but were being some injury, something like that. So I had the chance to fight semi-final and final. Semi-final I still remember with Sweden, and I scored my first European Ippon in Jakudo. So I was very nervous. I was so nervous that I reacted in an unexpected way. That's why I strike Ippon, not because I was able really and confident, but because I was only heart and nerves. So
that's a hell of an Ippon to take on your very first one in competitions, Gyakudo. I don't think I've ever heard that before.
Forward, yeah. I have the piece still in my room of that one. And then, and then was individuals. In individuals, I fought. I didn't expect so much from myself. I was already happy to be there. And, I was light. Let's do what I am able to do. And was already big score to be there. So let's see what's happened. And anyway, I overlapped the pool. I performed well, in my opinion. I felt good. I lost too easily, to my opinion. I lost against Volquist in that competition. He struck me, man, but too easily, in my opinion. I could do something more, but I was yes, an expert, and maybe I should pretend something more for myself since the beginning. So that was my first experience.
Oh, wow. And then from then, your first World Champs was in Glasgow, 2003?
Yes.
So how was that? So you finally got to travel abroad like you wanted to do.
Yes, and honestly, it was fantastic. We, as Italian team, I'm talking, we catch the third place, and of course, that will be enough to be proud of that experience. But it's not only for that. Really, I felt inside of international event, really international. I mean, the arena was full of people, and there was Elisabetta the Queen, and the atmosphere around. People asked me, the sign down to the picture. Yeah, I don't know in English. Sorry.
Right. Signature. Mm-mm.
Yeah, signature. Thanks. Under the picture, I felt like a star. Even I wasn't, of course, but in that period, in that experience, really happened everything in perfect way. The feeling with the team was half new. Me, Mandia, Licausi, Soldati, all around the same age. I mean, not over 2 years difference between each other, and all the team. It was a perfect mix. So the older members did a great job passing them experience to us, and we were very motivated. Step by step, discovering we were able to fight against people who, from outside, we consider stronger than us. I mean, in that World Championship was Eiga. I fought against him. Maybe he doesn't remember to me, but I was able to fight against him in semifinal, against Japan in semifinal, and I was against Eiga. And the funny story was, in the pool, I didn't perform so well. I was too much emotive, maybe stressed. And the first match, I was rigid again. I fought against Blake Bennett, New Zealand.
Yes. We know Blake very well, unfortunately.
He beat me. And I don't remember 1-0 or something, but anyway, he beat me. And coach immediately, kicked me out from the team in the second match of the pool. And I suppose my chance was fell down. But the player who played instead of mine in the second match did even worse than me. So after a game, I came back in the team, and it was great because we fought against Hungary. The Hungary team in that age was really strong, and I was the fifth. And the fifth, I met Herdley. Herdley, actually, is Herdley Sensei, was European champion from the year before, and I was able to beat him, and that victory permitted to my team to pass over the match. I beat 2-1, and I had to beat him, so I made the difference in that match, and was great. And the next was Brazilian team. Brazilian team was, of course, another level of Kendo compared our level, but our heart did the miracle. And we were able to won. I won against Sato Sensei, the fifth one again, 2-0. I was able to win that match. Even that Kendo was much higher than us. But yes, we really did something special. And then we had too long time before the semifinal to understand what we were being able to do. That calmed down a bit our magic moment, break it in somehow, because we recognized, wow, we are in semifinal. Would be better if we didn't break and go on without nobody says anything. Maybe we against Japan we could do something more. But anyway, yeah, that World Championship is actually still my favorite experience in World Championship.
Out of all of your WKC, that's still your best one, your best memory.
Yeah. Because it was the first, because because everything worked perfectly. Yeah.
So I think at that time, then when Eiga was in that World Championships, obviously he got legendary status for that ski in the playoff for the team champ.
Exactly. I was a few meters from that ski.
So yeah. I think, was he the reigning All Japan champion at that time, or had he just, was it 2 or 3 years before that he was All Japan champion, I think? But
not in that year.
I think it was
I don't remember the name of Japan champion, but I had him in the pool, individual pool.
That was I
don't remember the name.
I think, was it Iwasa?
Maybe.
I think maybe
Iwasa Sensei, maybe.
But when you're going up against, obviously, yeah, I mean, Eiga Sensei didn't have the reputation then that he has now, but even still, you're going to fight, a former All Japan champion, 7th Dan, obviously a member of the Japan team. How do you kind of prepare yourself mentally for that type of match? Because obviously it's one for people that I guess that are not in Japan. They all want to test themselves against somebody from Japan or the Japan team, but it's a big ask. It's a big challenge.
Yes, honestly, we were unprepared. That is the right. All of us were unprepared. We just had a magic moment, magic days, because outside of the competitions, the people were being able to build a team, but didn't come out from a really preparation. So against Japan, we didn't expect to arrive there. That is the truth. And each one of us were fighting just with enthusiastic energy, but without any kind of strategical point or mental preparation. And that was been for a long time our weakest point, in my opinion. And somehow, a mental coach is able to do more than technical coach. I mean, the mind is everything. Is able to control the emotional part, the physical part, injury when happen, and technical coordination. So no, we weren't prepared. That is the truth.
if you could go back and do it all again, how would you have changed your preparation? More mental training, or more technical training, or
more mental? Myself to myself mental, because my weak point is mental. I during my career, for example, I never won European Championship. I've been in quarter to final for 4 times, and I received fighting spirit 3 times, but I never overlap that step to receive the medal, because my mental wasn't stable enough. That is my weakest point. So of course, I need technical preparation, because Eiga is and was in that age and always been upper than me about techniques. I need physical training, of course, because you have to prepare everything, body and techniques. but mainly my mental training is the hardest, to my opinion. To my opinion. So what I will be focused more is mental. Yes.
Okay, so you in total you took part in 5 World Championships. The last one
Yes.
being 2015 in Tokyo.
Exactly.
So you already knew going into that World Championships. You already knew that this would be your last one. Had you made that decision, or did the decision
Yes.
to retire come after?
No, yeah. I already knew. Honestly, I didn't pass a good year that year. I was in selection. Sorry, I applied myself to be selected for national team because I loved to pass my experience to the other members in agreement with in according with the coach, of course. I was there to be selected, but truly inside of myself, I didn't think to be in the team. So I did my best because I love to have training with the best player of my country and to pass them the best chance for the next European World Championship. But at the end, I discovered to be selected, and I was surprised. But when I discovered to be selected, I understand immediately what was my rule. My rule was to be a kind of coach inside of the team. I mean, the most expert player in the team, and so my focus was more around of the team and the other players, much more compared myself. In fact, I didn't play individual. I played only team competition, but we get Korean team in the pool and Turkey, and we won against Turkey, but we lost against Korean team, so we didn't go on. But after that year, I was really full of many things, many ideas, many doubts. So I stopped with competitions for a year, 1.5 years, to find out again why I'm here to play, why I'm doing kendo, why what is funny in competition, what is interesting in Jigeiko. I had to make a new balance in my mind after that year, and during World Championship I was already in time of crisis like that, but I kept strong to be able to enough to arrive on World Championship, and then I stopped and clean up the situation and and find out new balance again.
So I guess for finishing your World Kendo Championships career, it was a good venue in which to finish at the Budokan in Tokyo in Japan, and fantastic venue.
That was my plan. Yeah, I mean, when I discovered, I'm closing the 5th one. 5 World Championship are a lot in the career, and in Budokan in Tokyo. I mean, what else was great? Yes.
Yeah, great send off. So that was 2015. So then you obviously changed from being a competitor to being a coach, and that was with the Croatian national team. When did that start? When did you get involved with them?
I have to say just one little thing. I didn't stop at all to be competitor. I mean, I stopped for a period to clean up my mind, but I still compete from time to time because I want to maintain myself in connection with the new generation of Shaisha, and because I'm also a referee, and it's important to challenge yourself and to cross Shinai with the new member of national teams in Italy, but also abroad. So I compete 2, 3, 4 times a year, but I do to not lose the habit, we can say. Coming back to the question, in Kitamoto seminar, I met Marko Lukic. Marko Lukic is the actually president of Croatian Federation, but in that age wasn't yet. We met each other like 10 years earlier, and I didn't remember, honestly, but Marco recognized me because he'd been in a seminar in Trieste, in Italy, northeast of Italy, 10 years before, and he met me in the toilets in Frankfurt airport during the flight change, and he recognized me. Ciao, how are you? And I say, for sure, he's Kendo player. So I answer back, even I didn't recognize him, like I know him. So, ciao, it's fine, you like this. And I was thinking, who is him? And then during the flights, talking to each other, I say, okay, I have to be honest, I don't remember about you, where we meet each other. So he reminded me, in Trieste, like that. Okay. And honestly, we find very, very, very well with each other. We spent a great week in Kitamoto, not only because we was playing together, but outside of practice, he's a really intelligent and very high culture person. So very interesting to talk with him about everything, every subject, and really was born a good friendship, very good friendship. And few months later, less than 1 year later, he proposed to me to go in Croatia. There is a summer camp. Come with us. We enjoy together. Okay, I've been there, and with my actually wife at that age wasn't yet. And during that seminar, that camp, he and the other member of federation proposed me this crazy idea. I mean, crazy because I didn't expected some foreign country counted on me as coach. I mean, maybe in Italy, the people know me better also as a club teacher. So maybe here is easier. The people knows what I'm able to do also as coach. But outside of Italy, I didn't expect to receive this kind of chance, honestly. And I didn't think about that. I said yes immediately. Is cool. I want to do that. I didn't know exactly what it means, but I said yes, and let's do it, and we'll see what happens. And then started like that. So during the summer, and then we planned the next winter, the next season, but was compromised. The first year of collaboration was compromised because was born my second son, and was born in the late, 1 month later than prevision. So I had to delay 2 meetings with national team. Then happened a special snowing, and the border between Italy and Croatia was closed. So I wasn't able to go there. So at the end, we had 2 or 3 meetings before European, no more. But was the first year, the first touch, and we liked to each other. My proposal was to spend 1 year and to decide year by year what to do for the future, because maybe with Marco and me, we are good friends, but also the other members must love my system, and I have to be understood from the players. Culturally, I didn't know exactly what Croatians means. So the first things I did, I studied history of Croatia. So history in the last 3 centuries of all the Balkan areas, from Russia to Turkey, to understand where culture of Balkan people come from, and what means today to be Croatian, what kind of difference there are between Croatians, Serbians, Montenegro, and all that part. Because in school you learn, but it's really, really not enough. You have to go deeper, so you can talk with people knowing what button to touch and what is better not to touch, what is possible to understand from them and what maybe is better to avoid. And so first of all, I try to understand the people, the culture. And then I try to pass my experience using that kind of communication level. That was my first job. In the first 2 years, I did this job. And honestly, it was a great experience for me. I still have a great connection with some members of the Croatian Federation. So we're being 5 years full of satisfaction because we obtained fighting spirits every year. And also we were able to build a ladies team. My first year, I had only 3 players, ladies. So the team were only 3 members against 5 members. Even that we overlapped the pool. And then we lost. But I mean, for a team of 3 against 5, was been a great score. And so my second step after culture and passing my ideas, my vision of Kendo and my skill in competition, I tried to build up a system, because without a national system, you don't have any national team. I mean, it's really important to build up the basics, So number of members, the quality, of course, of the people who already are playing, the promotion part. So I was involved in many subjects, not only coach, but I was involved in federal activities. So I learned many things, because I didn't cover only one little rule, but I was involved in many other things. And that experience was really complete from my point of view. And actually, I can see the things in different way, because my vision is richer compared before.
Oh, so when I heard that you'd become the coach of the Croatian national team, I didn't realize that it had involved so much. You're trying to build the federation up, and so it's a really huge undertaking that you took on with that. It's a really big challenge. But obviously, for the record that you said, they've been to 3 European Championships and 1 World Championship as coach, and got the fighting spirits with them. And so from
yes.
Thinking as a competitor, what are the big lessons from you being a competitor? Have you been able to want to teach to the Croatian members, or have been successful in teaching them?
First of all, to be a team. That is the most difficult point generally, to build up a team. A good team feeling, good team spirit is able to push up also the best individual player. I mean, if you are a group of singular players, you can be a phenom, but it's only a talent. You have to become a really team, so you can use an energy bigger than only your own energy. And that was really important to pass to them. I think one of my best points, personally, as character of myself, is to build up a team spirit. Generally, I'm able to make a group, and so I tried immediately to do that. The choice of Croatian Federation was on foreign coach, because in that way there is someone who is not influenced from the clubs. So what was important, to my opinion, is to connect the clubs between each other. Okay, so this is already a kind of team feeling. So you are not only Zadar club, Rijeka club, etc., Zagreb club, but you are one country, one country means you are there and you are a representative of a bigger system. So even you are fighting in individual, you have a flag before, a name of your country before the flag, then the flag, and just as the last point, there is your name. So you are just a member of a bigger system. Without that system, you can't be there. That is the point. The older players permitted to you to be here today, because without them, will be never Kendo Croatian team or Kendo Croatian Federation. So if you pass this message and each one is able to respect the rule of each one else, and to them start to work together. If each one doesn't care about what the other rules does, of course, no one is respecting the other rules and the other people. And without respect, it's impossible to work together. Without work together, there isn't a team. There is nothing. There isn't a federation. There is nothing.
So has it been, like, obviously you're in charge of a team that's in another country. Has that, what kind of challenges has that brought up? The fact that, you know, if you were living in Croatia, I suppose you could have a much more hands-on type of approach, but obviously you're in another country. What sort of challenges does that have, and how have you been able to overcome them?
I think if I would live in Croatia, I would be able to give more, or in somehow to give in somehow more. I mean, not about technically, but for example, the language is my first limit. I'm talking English as you listen, so enough to be understood, but it's not high level of English. And something I can explain in Italy, and I can pass a kind of message. Sometimes I don't feel confident to be able to pass in another language, in English. I try to understand a bit of Croatian, but honestly, it was really difficult for me. I never learned Croatian language, and so that was the first limit I felt. How to overlap this limit? Playing with that. So I was always being part of training. The major part of the meeting, I not only lead the meeting, but I was also training with men and everything. The warm up before European, the warm up before World Championship, I was playing too with them. So I tried to pass what I feel inside with Shinai. That was my choose to overlap the language limit. And of course, if I will be in Croatia, if I will be living in Croatia, it would be easier to visit more often the clubs, to help the teachers, to involve the teachers in a common way, and sharing my goals with them, because we met once a month. But the rest of the month, I would like the teachers help my job doing regular keiko, doing a good schedule, a good plan of training. And of course, I passed this kind of message. But if I would be there, it would be easier to go from time to time around the country and involve more in this kind of system the teachers. If the teacher is involved in the federation plan, I think he is more motivated to work in that direction and to share experience and to share opinions with the coach or developing coach or the national team coach. I mean, with some representative person of the federation. So the connection, directly connection between top of federation, the head of federation and the members, I think is very important. If those two parts, players and head of federation, are too far, there is a break first or later there is a break between, and that should be never happen.
Great, fantastic. So we're thank you very much. We're coming towards the end of the chat now. There's actually one further thing that I wanted to talk to you about, and not only have you had a great career as a competitor, and also you're now highly involved in coaching, but you've also had time to write a book. You'll have to forgive my Italian pronunciation, but I believe called Una nuova visione, which I'm guessing in English.
Fantastic.
A new
vision.
A new vision.
Yeah, a new vision. Yeah.
So can you, obviously that's available in Italian, for those of us that can't speak Italian, what's the idea behind that book?
Yeah, thank you for talking about that book. I'm really thankful for that. Honestly, I was preparing also an English version, but I need a help for that, and need also longer time. So actually is not yet ready, but I hope in the close future there is also an English version, because I really would like to pass this kind of vision. This kind of vision, what is it? Is a new vision, is new compared what Kendo is. That is the point. So the idea behind the book is behind a Kenshi, there is a person, and that person is in somehow always an athlete. What means an athlete? It means there is a human machine that must work perfectly in coordination, and coordination skills, you can train that. So that is the idea behind the book. And of course is developing, talking about different ages, different necessity, different ages, different skills. Also Kendo talks about that, especially in philosophic way. But in this book there is some ideas, and this is only the first book. I have already in mind to develop this kind of idea with a kind of science research, but need longer time. So in the next future, I will do this kind of job. How our body react with some kind of provocation. Provocation, I mean physical provocation. If you touch in this point, I have a different reaction compared if you touch in another point. This is just a stupid example. But the connection between nervous reaction system that pass through the muscle system, that move the joints, that are going to apply technically what we have in mind. So this is a kind of machine we can train always. If you are top level competitor, of course, you have to be a perfect machine, and everything must be under your control and at best performance possible. But even you are just an amateur, just a passionate in Kendo, you are having one keiko a week and you are 60 years old, okay, but you can have more satisfaction and less injury if you work properly. That is the point. So of course the time and the rhythm of warming up is different compared to 15 years old who train every day, no? And so the point is, this machine can perform as best as possible, but also this machine can break it, and we don't want to break it. So the physical preparation concerning performance and prevention. There are always two double meaning in physical training. If we consider this included in Kendo practice, we really can enjoy more, injury less, and maybe playing longer.
So you've already been kind of using these techniques when it's come to your coaching with the Croatia team?
Honestly, really few, because we will need longer time we had one experience about that. Only one time, I host them in my club in Italy for 1 week, and I prepared a schedule for 1 week. So every day we had kind of physical training in the early morning, then breakfast, then part of kendo training, then again physical preparation, maybe in the water, then cycling, then condition training and everything. So mental coaching. So all the day was split in different part of training, all connected in kendo training. So in that day, I was training one subject. So cycling, free body, and water training must talk about that subject. And kendo training, of course, was being the maximum expression of that subject. But I was able only one time for 1 week, because then was difficult to organize again. The people are not professionals, so to save 7 days to be here, investing only in kendo experience, not in holiday, not with family, this kind of project is possible with the professional players or with students who have more time to dedicate on training and like something like this. Yeah.
Well, that sounds really fascinating. I think it's going to be a great use to people that do kendo, and get them to think about. Yeah, that's really interesting. Think of your body as a machine, and you obviously need to keep it maintained well, yes, and looked after well in order to reach top performance. So yeah, hopefully it won't be too long before an English version is ready. I'm sure that we would all love to have a look at that. And when it is ready, then I hope that you'll be able to join us again, and we can once we've had a read of it, we can discuss the ideas in that even more. So
would be my pleasure.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Christian, for taking a Sunday afternoon where you are. It's Sunday evening where I am, to talk to us today about your experiences and talk about your experiences in your competition and your coaching. I hope the people that are listening to this are going to be get some good ideas from it. So Christian Filippi, thank you very much, and we hope to see you again sometime.
Thank you very much. I'm very thankful to you, to Marco, who connects we two the first, and of course KendoWorld, who is hosting our conversation. And everybody who are here, I say hello, and I wish to all of you best healthy, especially in this crazy moment. So
it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much.
Bye.